It's also important to note that there are two different applications at work here, and they're both tied together, and they're both written by Google. The one that we're currently on right now is Google Maps, which you can access by itself, and the other one, which we demonstrated before, is Google Navigation, and they are both tied together. So if we hit our home key here, we can hit the launcher icon and go down to Maps. This will launch Google Maps. Typically, Google Maps by default will show your current location. You can always hit the return key. Oops, I'll go back in the launcher here. Go down to Maps. You can always hit the menu key here, or there's a search field up here to type in a specific destination. Google Maps is very handy. We'll press the menu key here. Menu will give us different options for the maps. Google Maps is very handy to not only show your current location and show the streets and whatnot surrounding you, but it also shows other locations. So it's really handy if you need to find somewhere. So to find somewhere, you can just hit search, and you can search. As you can see here, I was looking for Thai food recently, but you can search, Starbucks, coffee. You can even type in generic stuff. You can type in a city, whatever place you're looking for. So for example, let's go ahead and type in Thai. This not only searches for places called Thai, but it also searches for all the available Thai places. So as you can see, there are different Thai places nearby, or similar restaurants too, not just Thai. So if you select the place and then tap in the bubble, this will give you all information about that place. You can either choose to call it, email it, you can navigate to it by hitting this little road sign here. Choose driving or walking navigation, or just get directions. Press the return key to go back to the previous menu. Or you could also see reviews on the place. This is handy if you're looking for specific places, such as coffee places or what have you, or different businesses even, and see various reviews on them if they exist. At any point when you're in one of these pages describing a business, you can always, to navigate up and down, you would scroll up and down. You can always go back to the Google Maps by pressing the return key. That takes you back to Google Maps. Some of the other options, if we hit the menu key here, you can choose to clear the map, which will just clear all the things we've searched for, because after a while, if you're doing multiple searches, it gets a little bit cluttered. Back to the menu function. You can star places, so you can actually specify a specific place and star it, as I described before in the navigation. You can go to Join Latitude, that's an online service. You can choose to get directions to a specific place. What that is that's like the search functionality, only when you're doing search, you're not sure what you're looking for. You just type in something in the search and it'll try to find it. Directions is if you know a specific place, you can type in. So if we press it, we can say, okay, my location, and we can choose an endpoint, and it'll show an exact route to that. It's similar to navigation, but without using navigation. So we press the return key to go back to Maps. At any point, if you want to see your exact location, say you, oh, by the way, Google Maps does work like any web page or other applications, like the camera. You can use the pinch pull method. You can pull your fingers apart to zoom in, or you can pinch them together to zoom out. Get the city-wide view here. As you can see, it's fairly quick too, and you can even move around using your finger to track. So let's say we move all the way to the coast over here, and we're looking at businesses down here, or we're just looking for directions somewhere, but we want to go back to our position. At any point in this application, you can press this icon up here, which has your pinpointed position. Press that. It tracks all the way back to where you are. That's a very handy feature if you get lost in the maps Some of the other options available, if we press the menu key here and go to More, you can change your cache settings, you can view help, terms, etc. if you want to see what it's about. Labs is kind of a neat feature if you're interested in exploring new utilities that are available as a beta for Google Maps, but don't exactly work correctly yet, or they're just not finished with it. So if you tap on that, it's not really that important, but you can choose a scale bar or measure or whatever beta tool they have available, which is kind of nice, and you can actually give feedback on that as well. So we'll go ahead and press the return key to go back to our view, and that is a full demonstration of Maps. This has been a demonstration of the Google Navigation and Maps application programs. It's important to note that ideally we'd like to use this over VZ Navigator, as VZ Navigator both incurs a cost, and Google Maps and Navigation tends to be better for corporate use. I hope you find this video informative, and I'd like to thank you for watching.